Welcome to February 28th LeetCode Challenge. Summary ranges. You're given a sorted, unique integer array nums. Return the smallest sorted list of ranges that cover all the numbers in the array exactly. That is, each number of nums is covered by exactly one of the ranges, and there's no integer x such that x is in one of the ranges but not in nums. Each range between A and B in the list should be output as, so we have A, call this arrow pointer, say ranges to B if A is not equal to B. Condition 2, if the character A only happens if A is equal to B. So where A and B are numbers, right? So we're given this example number 1 here, the integer array of nums and sorted. And we want to, let's just start counting, right? We have 0, 1, 2, and then we don't have a 3. So therefore, we could say that the range between 0 to 2 is a range that covers 0, 1, and 2. Say we increment the index one more, and then we get the range 4, 5, and then we don't have 6. So the next range should be 4 to 5. And then we incremented already, so now we have 7, 7 being equal to 7 itself. Therefore, we have the 7 being a range of itself. See, that's pretty much the overall idea of this problem. We have example 2 given here. We have, let's just give the array nums here. We have 0, and we don't have a 1, so therefore 0 sits on this condition here, and we just return 0 as a standalone range. Then we have the next interval being 2, 3, 4, because we don't have a 5. Therefore, the range is between 2 to 4. Likewise, we increment our index to 6, and 6 satisfies the condition of the second condition, which is A, if A is not equal to B, I should say. So therefore, 6 is a standalone interval. And then our last remaining interval is 8, 9. Therefore, the interval being 8 ranges to 9. So a couple of useful things about condition or constraints, as to say, is the number of lengths is between 0 and 20. Number of index I is between these two numbers. So here are the two important ones. All values of nums are unique, and nums is sorted in ascending order. So we don't have to sort it ourselves. And the approach to this question might be best to kind of use a two-pointer approach. Basically, keep a pointer where we are at its current index, and then compare the previous number to it. If the number satisfies condition to fall into one of these two outputs, and therefore we add it to our range list, right? And then we pretty much add it to our list. So let's kind of continue. Let's do that. The first thing we want to do is eliminate our edge case. So if the length of nums is equal to 0, so let's see if this is the case. So if the length of num equal to 0, I'm not sure how to encapsulate these. Return an empty list. That's pretty much it for our edge case. So check to see the edge case if we have no nums in our list. Next thing you want to do is initialize our value. Let's call I and j for our start number and our ending number. J equaling to numbers at index I, or 0, and numbers at index 0. For now. Next thing you want to do is have our output defined as an empty array. Next thing we want to do is do a for loop. So for, let's call it for num in the ranges of num to the length of nums. For each element in the array, if let's see, j plus 1 is equal to the nums index num, we call it x, because they use x here, index x. And what we're going to do is, this is checking for each given condition, we want to increment our j by 1. So we're going to iterate through that, else we want to check the condition for a single statement. So meaning that we're going to check this condition here. So basically if I is equal to j, we're going to output.append our string of our string of I basically. And then if that's not the case, then it will be the first instance here. Therefore, A is not equal to B. Therefore, we have to add the output dot append. Why is this like this? There you go. Append. What are we appending? Appending string at index I plus concatenation, I should say, with the arrow notation, concatenate it with string at index j. Alright. And then we exit this else statement. We're within the secondary or the outer else statement. And that's the case, we also want to reinitialize the values of I and j to be the new numbers. So it will be nums at x and then nums at x. And since we get out of this else statement, this for loop starts incrementing j, therefore we would exit the loop completely if this is the case. Alright, that's pretty much that part, and that basically gets everything up to our last interval, right? And the last interval here, if we don't get past it, we can't know if it's included within our array or not. So therefore, we have to calculate for this last portion right here. So our last interval. So basically, same conditions again. Actually, maybe we could just copy and paste if I could do that. Yeah. So when we exit the loop completely, we basically don't need to change I and j anymore, and we just continue out this loop, continuing down the path as such. Tab here, and then ideally we should be able to return output. Let's run this code once and see how it looks. It looks great. Basically what we do is we give it the edge case that looks accepted. What we did was that we assigned I and j to be start and end pointers, assigned the output array which we're going to store our values inside. For each element within our array, we just basically cycle through each, we check the conditions for each I, j plus one term. If it's equal to the nums at the index x for each number, we increment j by 1. So basically loop through each number and give it and check the condition. And basically check the condition. If it meets the single character condition, then therefore we append the single character I. If it meets the 2 of the range condition, therefore we concatenate with the arrow operator. And then we just keep on cycling through, updating I and j to be the number index I for both of them. And then we keep on going through that loop until basically we get to the end, such as this example. And once we get to the end, we can't increment I and j anymore because there's no number after it. So therefore, we just automatically add I and j based on whether they're single values or not. And time complexity is big O of n. We have this for loop here that runs into the if and else statements in here. Time complexity is big O of n. Space complexity is big O of at most n as well, because we have to append the inputs into it, but the inputs are less than the original number, but still n terms. Alright, that's it. Have a great day, guys.